Hi, my name is Andrew Duncan, and my presentation is about evaluating top high school basketball prospects' commitment to Division I colleges. And the reason I chose this topic was because I'm a big college basketball fan, and over the years I've been seeing more and more college basketball players either going to the NBA or transferring schools before their 4 years at their original school that they committed to out of high school. Um, Now I'm going to give you a little background about the NBA and some transfer rules for people that aren't interested in basketball or basketball fans. In 1949, two professional leagues, the BAA and NBL, merged to form the National Basketball Association, the NBA. In 1969, the first high school player was drafted to the NBA. And since 1969, there were only a handful of players that were drafted out of high school until the 90s. And the 90s is when you started seeing more and more high school players being drafted right to the NBA. Until 2005, when NBA made a requirement that you must be 19 years old and 1 year removed from high school before you could be drafted into the NBA, which gave more players more incentive to go play college basketball. Now going into the transfer rules. One of the transfer rules is that you can transfer to a school that you were not recruited by initially. And another rule is you can transfer to another school if you get dean's approval and are in good standings with your GPA. And there are a bunch of other exceptions to the rules of transferring to another Division I school, but I'm not going to go into depth because it would take too much time. Information to identify a problem. College coaches put a lot of time and effort and money recruiting players. They spend a lot of time watching film of these recruits. They travel a lot to go talk to these players. And the statistics are there. About 20% of all freshmen leave their initial school after 1 year, and 40% are gone by year 2. So those are some pretty drastic numbers there. Players are either transferring or going straight to the NBA. This makes college coaches' job more difficult. It makes them spend more time, effort, and money on recruiting new players every single year. And the coaches have to start over teaching these players every year and developing their talents. These players leaving also makes the school look bad by the graduation numbers for the basketball program. If college coaches had these players for 4 years, he would spend less time recruiting every year and less time having to reteach new players because he would have the same players for 4 years. My management decision problem: how can college basketball coaches better identify high school prospects that are more likely to commit to 4 years of college at one school? If college coaches could identify these players, it would help them to know which players would be worth it to pursue to try to recruit these players. Now going into my market research questions. Would exploring prospects' personality, such as adventurous and outgoing, determine commitment level? Would evaluating prospects that have strong or weak family life help determine commitment level? This is going to go straight into my theoretical foundations, help explain those more. My theoretical foundations consist of 3 independent variables that influence the dependent variable, which is commitment level. The reason I chose these personality variables is I believe that prospects with these traits look for new experiences and fit in anywhere, making new friends easily, and so moving on to new experiences, either NBA or a different college, is, I believe, more likely if you have these personality traits. And the other independent variable is a weak or strong family life. What I mean, a weak or strong family life is there any family history or problems in the family? Do the players have a strong role model in their life? Do they come from a poor, broken family? Are just a few examples. I believe a prospect with a weak family life is more likely to leave before their 4 years of college is done at their initial college. And going into literature review, according to Business Insider, personality assessments are being used more and more and I'm sure some of you have felt out some of these personality assessments for a job. I know I have. These companies are looking for isolated personality traits, whether it's competency or aggression. The assessments are designed to point out what the company is looking for. The people that test high in these traits are the ones that usually the company calls and wants an interview and future hires. I'm also using a personality assessment in my questionnaire, looking for two individual personalities. For the family life, there were a couple articles, but I'm going to talk about one. It was about Michael Beasley. In 2007, Beasley was one of the top high school prospects, and he chose to go to Kansas State. Just after 1 year, Beasley left Kansas State and went pro in 2008. In an interview in 2014 with U.S. Today, Beasley made a statement. If he came from a better financial situation, he would have stayed at Kansas State for all 4 years. So this is an example of how family life affects decisions to leave college or to go elsewhere because of a weak family life. Now, how to address this problem. I'm using a casual research design, and as I stated earlier, with 3 independent variables. I will be issuing a questionnaire to the top 100 prospects in the nation. I will be issuing the list using ESPN Top 100 Prospects, which they do every year. The questionnaire will be electronically sent through email, or even this day and age, Facebook. This is also a longitudinal study, issuing new surveys every year to the top 100 prospects and evaluating past surveys every year, marking players that either transfer or went to the NBA, not finishing their 4 years at their original school. The questionnaire itself has 3 different scales: comparative, numerical, and a Likert scale. For my research design, I am using SPSS and a multiple regression analyst to analyze my multiple independent variables to explain variance in the dependent variable. Since this is a longitudinal study, I will rank players that match the personality traits and family life the study is looking for. There's prospects that are high risk will be at the top and will be ranked in that order from high risk to low risk. The data will be analyzed every year to get our results for my hypothesis that prospects having these personality traits and weak family life are more likely to not stay at all 4 years at one school. Alright, thank you for your time, and that's all I have. Thanks.